What's up, everybody? It's Quicksilver here, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually hanging out in my test world for my 1.7 texture pack. I'm actually in the snapshot that, as far as I know, was released today. It was 13W43A, so we'll actually be a day late, I guess, when you guys are seeing this. So it came out yesterday, or at least as far as I know it did anyway. But anyway, I wanted to do something a little different today, something maybe a little more special, at least in my mind. It's a pretty big deal. I think I have my 1.7 texture pack ready to share with you guys. It's at least up to date, barring any further additions that they make, so if you want to grab a copy of it, I'll have a link down in the description below. But yeah, in the meantime, I thought I would at least unveil kind of everything that I've been working on here. There's been quite a lot of changes that have been made in it. I've already covered the, I guess, the stained glass blocks, so I'm really pleased about all those. And in the last video, I had actually made a mention that there was a glitch still with them, or at least I presumed it was a glitch on Mojang's part as opposed to mine, and it was indeed on Mojang's part, with the faces of these things disappearing sometimes on certain angles. But it looks like they do indeed have that fixed, so we have stained glass blocks that we can use now. I guess the next item up for bids is the plants portion of this. They've released quite a number of plants over what they used to have. The Noble Rose plant has been replaced with this sad little guy, just a little poppy. Not a bad little plant, but anyway, he's not the rose. But anyway, I digress. Then in addition, they've given us these really cool 2-block high plants, which I really like. So I guess the first item up for bids is the double tall grass block, and I'm just gonna pick these things up so I can get the names, because I don't have all their names memorized, but that way I can tell you. So that's what I've done with the double tall grass block, and I have noticed too, I'm not sure if it works with the double tall fern that I just destroyed. Let me see if I can find that really super fast. Maybe I can't. Well, that kind of sucks. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to waste any time with that. Anyway, the double tall grass block, I know if you take some bone meal and you toss that down, you can indeed get the double tall grass to sprout. So I'm not sure, like, I guess, like, as opposed to just throwing it down, just getting you know, the random flower types and a couple of other things. Yeah, there's the large fern. There you go. Put him back in there. Oh, put him back in there. Wow, one of these days I'll get it right. Anyway, you can get those to spawn if you throw down grasses. I'm assuming you can get the ferns to spawn. It probably, I'm going to guess, has something to do with the biome that you're in as to which one you might get. And I guess what I mean by that, just in case that's not clear enough, because it might not be, is if you do this number, you have a chance, in addition to these things, you can also get the tall grasses. I actually found that out on accident when I was trying to, there we go. And maybe it's if you bone, that's what it is. It's if you bone meal the grasses, the normal grasses, they will turn into the double tall grasses. And let's go find out. I bet that'll happen on the ferns too. Yep. So if you do it on the ferns, you get the double tall ferns, and if you do it on the grasses, you get the double tall grasses. So then moving down here, we have the peony bush, the rose bush, which has replaced the little rose. This is the lilac bush, and these are the sunflowers. The sunflowers are a new, from a textural perspective, they're a new plant in here, and I think I actually need to look at my stem in there. I will take a peek at that before I release it to you guys, but my stem doesn't look all jakey like that. So yeah, I'll peek at that. Yeah, it's a little different in the sense that they actually give you 3 parts. You have the bottom stem, the top stem, and then the flowers separate, which they have not done with any of the other pieces. So if there's anybody who's making texture packs or is interested, there are actually, and actually there's a fourth, there's the back part of that flower as well. So there's actually 4 parts to that flower. So neither here nor there. They also gave us the poppy. They gave us the blue orchid, which I like how that looks. This little sucker, which I guess is the allium plant, which is kind of cool looking. The azure bluet, which I really kind of like. If you get a bunch of those things kind of together, I think they kind of they look kind of cool, especially from afar. They look more like like plants would actually look, I guess, in a real world environment. Then they've given us the red tulip, the orange tulip, the white tulip, and the pink tulip. And then the last item up for bids, they call this the ox-eye daisy. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how they've turned out, with the exception of the stalk of the sunflower, which I swear did work until I tested this out, which means they just changed the name of it, so I'll figure out what that is, and then we will get that fixed as well. So when you download this texture pack, unless they change the name again, that should work. Next item up for bids is this red sand, which I guess they're using, I think, in the clay biomes, clay canyon biomes. So it's same thing as normal sand. It falls just like normal sand does, behaves in every way, shape, or form like normal sand. It's just not normal sand colored. It's kind of this orangey color. This is the Podzol, which shows Podzil, I guess, Podzol, something like that. Will not let grass grow on it, but it is kind of a mossy looking texture to begin with, so I don't think it really matters a ton. This is the new packed ice, which has no opacity, in contrast with the normal ice, which they've given opacity to, so I've modified it as well, which is really lets you do maybe some kind of cool windowy kind of things too. So if you wanted to have kind of a, I don't know, an ice castle or something, you can now use ice for the windows. This is just a grass block with the snow on top of it. I realized that in my old texture pack, and I might have already mentioned this one before, that I did not have an actual side block for this, so now we have the side block. As of today, they've introduced 2 new trees. This is the roofed oak, I believe, yeah, oak roof, I guess, oak roof tree, and then this is the acacia tree. So had to do some work. I guess they both have new logs on them. So these, it's kind of hard to tell here, but this is actually just a hair darker. This is the normal oak tree, and that is the roofed oak tree. So it's marginally darker, maybe a little browner. Didn't want it to be a whole lot different because it is really just a bigger oak tree. And then this is the acacia tree, which is really, it's like the jungle wood, it's just a little redder. So kind of a neat contrast if you want more of a red oak. I think in my texture pack I took the jungle wood away from kind of the reddish color that they gave it, and I brought it into this other kind of a brown, just because I like that a little more. But this gives us a little cooler stuff. Now, as far as I know, there are no planks available for these guys yet. That's interesting. I can't even put it in the crafting table. I'm going to guess there's probably going to be another update before too long that's going to give us 2 new wood plank types as well. These are the leaves. I actually used just the standard oak leaves for the oak roof tree, but for the acacia tree I did a little online research, and this is really kind of a, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like the leaves on these things look more like ferns. I guess giraffes eat them or something. They strip the little tiny leaves off there, so I tried to keep it a little bit like what it is in real life. Not sure I'm thrilled with it. I might change that one up a little bit more before I release this, but we'll see. If so, it'll be a nice happy surprise for you. But that is the acacia tree and the roofed oak tree, which I'm guessing shows up in some of the new forest types, and that's probably in the savannas. Next item for bids is the noble hopper. You guys might have noticed this in my world. I did update the hoppers so that they have a little better texture. Whoa, don't really sure where that leg spike came from. But anyway, I like the texture on these a lot more. I feel like it's a little rougher. Looks more like, you know, machined metal might look. And I don't know what the hell is eating up my lag here, but I'm not happy about it. Other than that, here are all the log types. I actually forgot, I skipped over them. They're mostly the same. I did make some subtle differences to them. The tops of these things are a little bit different, really rotated more or less than anything else. But I wanted to make them look so they weren't all the same. The one that has the biggest change is the, oh god, I can't think the name of it. It's the birchwood. There we go. I just want to call it spruce. So anyway, the top of that I think looks more like a birch tree does, so it really kind of gives a variation. If you like the birchwood, I think that's kind of cool. Let me set the time here today again. And then this is just the acacia and the oak roofed oak tree, I think is what it's called. So that's what that is. And then the last item up for bids before we head into my world is I mentioned when I was doing the stained glass that I had a surprise kind of behind the wood over here, and that is the surprise. I actually took a piece of my own artwork from a while ago and replaced one of the, what I felt to be one of the weaker pieces that was in the texture pack with some of my own art. So that is the little angel girl that I did a while ago, gosh, at this point. But anyway, yeah, it is one of the bigger paintings in the pack. So yeah, you can throw that in your world now if you're using my texture pack. And that is, at least to date, that is the extent of what they have done for 1.7, other than obviously the new biomes and all that crazy stuff. There's snow above level 90, there's a lot more rockier mountains, it looks like. the spruce trees, the spruce forests, are appearing currently just all the hell over the place. They do not have to be in snowy areas. They're showing up everywhere. So yeah, I'm really liking the way that some of the stuff is going. They've done some really cool stuff with to showcase all the flowers. They've got some floral biomes. I'm not sure if there's one anywhere near here. But I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm sure we'll stumble into one in my world, because that is, I guess, the next thing for me to let you guys know about. Is I did take my world into MC Edit, and the areas to the north of where the base is, well, actually I traveled a long way through there, and I didn't really want to, but I found that I had to in order to find horses. So I actually took the world into MC Edit, and I completely deleted the chunks that were up there. There was nothing important up there. It were just, you know, some explored areas. So hopefully we have not too bad of a seam where I deleted the chunks. Sometimes you'll delete a chunk and your Y height on one end will be, you know, like 47, and then the Y height in the new spawned area might be, you know, like 90 or something. So you have like a sheer cliff that's like 50 blocks high or something that might show. So I have a feeling that's probably what we're going to end up with. If we just got lucky, then great. I'm not too worried, because what I did was I broke the where I broke the world is actually out of line of sight of the base. So if I do have some weird chunk connecting error, not really an error, I guess, if I have some weird chunk connector like that going on, then it won't be a big deal. We won't see it from the base or anything like that. So at this point, I do want to head back over to the world, talk about a couple of things there that are going to relate to 1.7. Not sure I'm really going to have a build for you today, guys. Taking a little bit of a break after doing the skeleton farm and the tower and all that good stuff, because that was really, I don't know, it was kind of, at least for me, it was kind of a big, whoa, that's some neon green stuff. I have to look at that. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that at all. Yeah, I'll look at that stuff. That's kind of weird. Anyway, not sure I'll have a build for you guys today, but I will, like I said, I've been wanting to do this video for a while to kind of show you what I've got going, and this just seemed like a good opportunity to do it. And yeah, so let's head over to the world, and I will talk about that, because the other, I guess the really big news is I am going to start playing in the snapshots. I think they're probably far enough along at this point that I don't think they're going to break my world with any of the snapshot stuff that they're doing. But just to be on the safe side, I am going to be backing up my world after every video that I do for you guys, at least until 1.7 comes out, so that if I do have a problem, I can always revert it back and not be too horribly crushed about it. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and leave here, and I'll see you in the main base. Okay guys, here we are back in the main world here. Again, this is 13W43A, and the first thing I'm noticing is I'm not quite loving the sky. I know they talked, oh, that's interesting. I know they talked about making the sky darker here when a storm is coming in, but it looks like, I don't know, maybe they're still working on that. That's got kind of that weird dark line thing happening. I don't like that. Anyway, yeah, here are the, I guess the new poppies popped in, so anywhere, poppies popped in, okay. Sorry, enough joking there. Anywhere you had a rose, if you're using my texture pack, you'll see that. Anywhere you have a rose, I guess in the normal game, it'll default to whatever, if you're not using a texture pack or anything, you're just using the default Minecraft textures, it will default to their new poppies. So, say goodbye to your roses in favor of these little guys. Hope you like them. Only one little thing, I guess I did one little project kind of off camera here. At least I think I did it off camera. I did build this little bridge connector here, because I kept finding when I was over here at this at my tower for the skeleton farm, I kept wanting to run across over to where the witch farm is just to check it out. So this kind of connects those two things. I think I want to build some sort of connector here too. I've still got to find a quick way to get down to that tower. Right now it's kind of a pain in the ass. What I've been doing is running over to here and then jumping down the sides over here and kind of winding my way down and then just running over. But there's got to be a better way to do it, and damn it, I'll figure it out and I'll build something cool there. Maybe we'll do some kind of an elevator down drop. Yeah, there's something weird going on with that sky. I'm not really digging it yet. I don't know, maybe it's if you're above a certain height or something that's causing that issue. One other thing, actually this is a pretty big thing I wanted to talk about that has to do with 1.7 that I have read online, is that the theory is, I'll tell you what, two things. Actually, there's a lot of things, so let's just get to it. They've given us all these different volume sliders too. So if we don't want to hear snow or don't want to hear rain, we can turn weather completely off. You want to hear music more, you can control that. Jukeboxes and note blocks, we can turn those up. Turn friendly creatures like pigs and cows up. Ambient environmental sounds like your footfalls, all that stuff. We have total control over a lot of different elements now, which is really kind of nice. So I'm digging that. They've also given us, I don't know, I'm not sure, the super secret settings that they have in here. I don't know if they'll keep that or not. But, oh yeah, I guess you can change the way the world looks, what mode you're playing in. So there's a bunch of craziness going on in there. Oh man, now I gotta figure out where the hell it is to get back to it. Yeah. And it's weird, I'm hearing all sorts of weird noises when I do that too. Hopefully that's got it, we'll see. Yeah, okay, I think we're playing in normal mode. I hope so anyway. Anyway, the important thing that I did want to talk about is as far as spawners go. I can't verify it, and I'll tell you what, it's a good thing for my world, but I will share what I think might just be a rumor. I keep trying to fly because I've been in creative mode messing with that other world, the texture pack world, for a little bit. In theory, mob heights have changed, so the actual size of baby zombies, and I don't think there are any other baby mobs that I can think of, at least that I've seen. I've never seen a baby skeleton or a baby creeper. Thank God, they're like little walking green dildos. In theory, they're a block high now. So if we did have a baby zombie plop down in here, he could just run right out and attack us, unlike his big daddy zombie there. So the reason I say that's not a problem for me, and I can't confirm it because of this, is because the way that my farm works, I don't know if you guys remember. Let me tell you what, let me roll over here really fast. Yeah, man, I am hating that sky. Sheesh. Yeah, maybe it is a height thing. I don't see it doing it from here. The way that my mob farm works, I'm sure you've seen it, but in case you haven't or you don't remember, is these dark areas right here is where we're actually spawning the mobs. Then I use water to pick them up and carry them over here. So I've got a whole mob evader system that picks them up and pushes them over to here, where they drop down here and become one-hit kills. They plop down onto that thing, and then they get pushed over in this water stream, and then I have a mob evader that picks them up and goes up here. Unlike my mob evader that you can't see that I used over for the villager spawning area and for the skeleton farm, where it's just solid water source blocks that go up, that's actually 4 wide. The theory was, I didn't know when I built it if I wanted to be able to deal with spiders or not, but anyway, the long and the short of it is there's an air pocket down there. There's air blocks in between each water source block, which means that a baby mob that's only 1 block high will stand there in that air block and never get picked up. So any baby mobs in my mob spawner that come down here that are one-hit kills and ready to get offed are just going to hang out down here until they despawn. So that's kind of, I guess, a little bit of a blessing in disguise. It means I don't ever have to worry about changing my mob farm design up here to keep them from coming out and trying to attack me. Not that, a one-hit kill mob doing that would be a problem, but at the same time, you don't want to have to deal with that. The whole concept of a mob spawner like this, or a mob farm like this rather, is you can just wail on them and not ever have to worry about getting hit. So I guess the way that I would fix that, if that was a problem, or if you have a mob farm in your base that has a similar setup, but the mobs aren't being mob evaded, like lifted up into an area, I think if you just throw a simple half slab down here, you'll still have good visibility of the mobs, but they won't be able to get out of that little halfway opening unless they further change the mob height, which would be really kind of weird. So hopefully that won't happen, but yeah, that's I guess one thing to be aware of. I've not had any rain or anything happen here yet, so I don't have snow, even though I'm above level 90. And in theory, that's the other thing. The ice farm that I have over there, let me go sleep this off really quick, and then we're going to go exploring a little bit. I don't want to just stay around the base and talk your ear off the whole time, but I want to go look for some of the new biomes. But let's see really fast. I think I can show you the ice farm over there. I think I mentioned when I gave you guys the update on it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, again, I'm not going to go running over there, but I only have 2 blocks where we're getting ice, so we get a really weird kind of a waterfall, ice waterfall if you want to call it, that we're pushing around down there. I talked with somebody at Mojang actually a little bit, and I guess that's intentional, the way that the water is freezing, which makes absolutely no sense to me. If they want to go for any sense of realism, if something freezes, then the block next to it should be able to freeze as well. But apparently it has something to do with where snow falls, and so I'm not sure if once this area starts to get covered in snow, if more of that stuff will freeze or not. We'll find out, I guess. And if it doesn't, and all I have are those two, then what I'll probably do is I'll move my bud switch over here so that we can at least get a 2-block deep wall of ice back over there. So in the meantime, I mentioned that I had done some work in MC Edit. You can't see any of it. It is that direction, and we won't even be able to see any of it from the, like if we were over at the Iron Golem farm. But we're going to go on a little bit of a journey here, and we're going to see what we can see. I'm going to go ahead and saddle up one of the horses. Finally going to put those little guys to some use after all that work trying to get them. What's up, guys? I'll use my diamond horse armor, one of the few decent things that I actually did find when I was, let's throw that on there. I don't know how I'm putting this on him with me sitting on his back, but hey, whatever, it's a game, right? Let me close those up so Thunder Thighs doesn't get out. And off we go like a herd of turtles, and I can talk while we're running. So, man, love that. Jump, nothing. No way, man. So yeah, so like I said, we can't even see. It's across this swamp is where the new areas are. I just got to make sure. I know there's some water here that it's kind of deep in the swamp, but I don't think I'm going to hit any of it if I'm careful. Ooh, which I almost wasn't. There we go. As long as we don't go more than 2 blocks deep, our horse should be fine, just a little slow. Okay, so pretty soon we should see either a new biome or some kind of separation thing going on here. Oh, crap, looks like, yeah, there we go. That's what I was talking about, guys. That's, oh man, that's like worst case scenario. We got a really ugly seam in here. Hey, I got some easy coal to find though. So alright, well those are new biomes. That's what that represents. Let's see if there's an easy way to get up it. Man, if there's not, this is really going to suck. Although it looks like that's coming down over here. Let's hope. Please, 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 please. Yeah, okay. It's water, but, oh, look at that. We've got some of those new trees, it looks like, right there. These look like the roofed oaks, I'm going to guess. Although they're really short. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find our way through it. This little roofed forest, man. These things are dangerous. Just from goofing around in the snapshots, I know that mobs will spawn inside these things, so you got to be real careful if you're traveling through them in the daytime. Don't think that you're safe, because you're not. Man, I'm hurting my horse here. Sorry, buddy. Oh, come on, man. Get up, 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 up. There we go. You should be able to travel up 2 blocks high with these guys. It would be really nice. But I guess I can't complain because I'm still booking. Hello. Alright, well that's a really weird mountain that we've got. Can we come down over here easier? Yeah, I think we can get over here safely, or get down safely over here. Trying to not have to go through that water, but man, come on, really? You have to feed this guy when I get back. Alright, time to suck it up, right? Jump across it, Thunder Thighs. Yes, okay, good. Alright, well cool, here's some of the new flowers. I'm going to grab some of those things so that we can plant them back at the base. Let's, I don't want to get too lost here though either. Alright, some more of the little, just normal stuff here. Hello, that's a deep hole right to my left I almost fell in. Looks like another swamp maybe. Yeah, so, alright. Let's roll over this way and see if there's anything interesting to look at. There's there's some double lilacs, I think, or whatever those things are. Mine. Alright, well, I may have to come back here on foot and see what we can see. Man, yeah, it's kind of tough to roll around this. These hills are pretty bad for a horse. I'm kind of surprised. Surrounded by water too, doesn't help much. Some double tall grass. More swamps. I'm just surrounded by swamps. Oh, cool. There's those blue flowers. Those things are cool too. What do you think? Can I trust Thunder Thighs not to wander off? Let's find out, because I want to go get some of those, and I'm not going to take him in this water and have him die or drown me or whatever the hell it is he's going to do. Yeah, cool. I figured he'd hang out. He's a good horse, right, guys? Alright, so I guess I'm just going to kind of goof around here, and I think, like I said, this is kind of a weird video for me to do. I don't think I've ever... There's some oxeye daisies too. Cool, man. Kind of a weird video for me to do for you guys. I don't think I've ever done anything where I've just kind of focused on the texture pack or anything like that. But I did want to let you guys in on that. Like I said, I still have some work to do to make this thing available to you for download, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and take care of that so that I can get that for you as well. So I think I'm going to call this a video. Again, I apologize because I know it's kind of a weird one, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Maybe maybe for some of you guys this is your first view of 1.7 and some of the upcoming stuff. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be really interesting waterfalls. Looks like it's going to be pretty interesting, guys, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I can find some cool inspirations to share with you guys. Maybe that's what some of my lag was from, was this stuff getting generated. No. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call this... Oh man, this stupid horse. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call this a video, and I will catch you guys next time. But if you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, and yeah, it really helps the channel out a bunch. And if you're not already a subscriber, please do subscribe, and I will continue to put these things out as frequently as I possibly can. Anyway, like I said, I'm shooting for about 2 a week at least for the time being. But yeah, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, thumb it up if you liked what you saw, and I will catch you guys next time.